I've been coached by Joanna for the last 6 months, and I have really valued that outside independent support and advice that she brings to every meeting.
I've been working with Joanna since the autumn, and my sessions with her have been invaluable.
Well, it's been such a positive experience from the very first session. It's been inspiring, I think is the way I would describe it.
I found the coaching programme inspirational, really exciting, and at times quite challenging.
The sessions can be and are really dynamic, which suits my role down to a T, where every day things are constantly changing.
Joanna's coaching style is really relaxed and friendly. She's very warm. When we first get together, normally we have a little bit of a chat and a catch up and a laugh. But Joanna also holds me to account and challenges me to encourage me to make sure I'm looking for solutions to some of the challenges that I face.
Joanna makes you feel as if you have known her for longer than you have, and absolutely I felt I could trust Joanna in terms of being able to open up to her and discuss anything that was going on for me and know that that would remain completely confidential.
The wealth of experience that you bring to the table, you know, she's been in teaching for 25 plus years, she's been a head teacher for 6 years, and it did really filled me with confidence that I've got someone alongside me that's on this journey that's really here to help and support and to make sure that I can deliver in the school that I'm working at.
First of all, you are so supportive. You know, no matter what the issue, you're always there. You've always, you know, you're totally non-judgmental. But what I do like about you as well is you are challenging. In it, you know, you will ask those difficult questions where needed. Safe pair of ears. So I can tell you pretty much anything. But the other thing as well for me has been inspiring. In my situation, you know, head teachers, it's a very lonely job. So sometimes having you to bounce ideas off is just brilliant.
I don't talk much. I don't open up much and talk about what's going on or how I feel. But with you, it was so easy.
The first thing I really liked about the programme was the initial 360 review. I have done programmes before, more online, so like the MPQ ML, and there was a similar 360. I think it was still called a similar thing. But the questions were very static, they weren't very personalised, whereas the 360 as part of this programme, it looked for strengths in different areas, as well as personalised and individual feedback. And it was all anonymous, so it wasn't like I was looking for individual people and what they thought specifically, but I could look at that and I knew it had come from people that I worked with, and it was really beneficial as a starting point.
Through my session with you today, I now have a sense of the 3 areas I'm going to focus on for development. So I'm quite excited to do that and to do that with you as well.
Joanna is so knowledgeable, and she always has to hand a list of suggested further reading or templates or forms, all of which she's more than happy to share with you. And I have found accessing some of those things between our sessions really helpful to make sure that then when we meet again, I get as much out of them as is possible.
I think the time for us to work on some of the tools and the strategies to work towards my goals are really important, but also I've had lots of opportunity to get some professional feedback, and I really feel that's helped me to grow as a leader.
These sessions have given me the opportunity to examine my insecurities and concerns in a safe place, and I know without any worries that everything that I've said will be confidential and won't go back to the trust.
Early on, I wasn't quite sure what to expect. I've been in school leadership for quite some years now, but working with Joanna has really enabled me to use and see some of the tools I already flexed quite well with my colleagues, and some that I just wasn't using at all.
She's helped me develop lots of strategies that ultimately allow me to work more effectively and smarter as a leader, and ensure that I don't get bogged down in some of the smaller day-to-day details, ultimately allowing me to have that bigger picture all the time.
One of the best things about Joanna is that as an external coach, she could add completely new perspective on a challenge or an issue that I was facing in school, and that meant that she often had a way of looking at something that I hadn't even considered before.
I think there's been a couple of things that I've had to do as a deputy head that are uncomfortable, and I didn't know how to do them or feel confident in doing them, and kind of going through that process with you and looking at what needed to be done has allowed me to see that I can do certain things that are unpleasant, but I can do them in a supportive way.
And it was really good to be able to talk to someone about that from outside of that setting, because it just provided another perspective and a way to make sure that I was perhaps on track before I approached people and tried to show what my plan was.
A huge change that's happening is around early reading and phonics, and working with yourself to look at how that could happen, putting key milestones in place to ensure that we meet those milestones in a timely manner.
Things like the development of the curriculum, I really genuinely would not have done without working with you. It was something that I knew the curriculum needed to be better, it needed to be more purposeful, it needed to be more relevant. And working with you gave me the ideas, because you are that ideas person. You know, we bounce ideas off each other all the time. And because I had a timeline of when I was meeting you next, I actually went away and did those tasks. It's not like you hold me to account like a CEO or whatever, but it was that sense of accountability. I wanted to come back to you and say, I've done this, and this. And it did give me that really good structure that meant the curriculum is now really strong.
Since having the coaching, I've found myself much more confident dealing with difficult professional conversations and situations, and I found that getting anonymous peer feedback as part of the 360 diagnostic a really, really empowering experience.
The changes that needed to happen were done in a timely manner, without putting additional stress and anxiety on other staff, so that they were done in the right time. And ultimately what happened was that Ofsted then arrived on the back of those changes, and they gave, the feedback from the inspector was glowing around the changes that we had made.
I then, from Joanna's guidance and advice, have developed a weekly planner where I can make sure I'm focusing on those strategic elements without losing sight of them, while still being able to perform my day-to-day function as the deputy head teacher of a very large secondary school.
As assessment coordinator, I've had to introduce a new software program and a whole new way of working, and every week or every time we met, I was at different stages. Sometimes I was struggling knowing where to go next. Yeah, working with you has really helped map out the kind of steps to success that will hopefully get there. And I do feel a lot more positive about getting there, and I know where we want to go as a school now. So I think that's really helped.
And the best thing is that other people have started to see that change in me. My head has said to me that I have grown over these past 2 terms.
In our sessions, I've been able to see exactly how I'm feeling, what the challenges are, without any worry. And ultimately, I think what that has then led on to is me feeling more confident to speak with colleagues around me and family members about how I'm feeling about different things, and really having kind of a holistic support now around me to meet the challenges that headship brings.
Joanna has been amazing for my self-confidence, and I wholly support anybody having coaching sessions with Joanna.
And my colleagues have said, have you moved house? Has your husband retired? Have you got divorced? What's the change? You look more positive. There's an energy about you. And actually, I feel that positivity, that strength and that energy. And it's down to working with Joanna, and it's down to recognising and enabling me to see my strengths and to own them.
I would really, really recommend Joanna as a coach. I'm learning every time I see her.
This has actually impacted on my day-to-day practice, my school, my well-being. It gave me a structure to work through. It gave me the opportunity to really truly reflect on me.
If you want a coach who is empathetic, intelligent, and has a really warm manner, and and will get the very best out of you, then Joanna is the coach for you.
And I would highly recommend Joanna to anybody. I think she's brilliant. I think she is somebody that I trust.
Thank you to Joanna. I absolutely would work with Joanna again and hope to in the near future, and do not hesitate in recommending her to others.
So why do I recommend Joanna Gledhill as a potential mentor or coach for you? It's basically because her knowledge is exceptional. I come to her with issues, with problems, and she just plucks different ideas seemingly from nowhere in her expert knowledge to be able to help me resolve issues, and consequently sort of turns this rough diamond that I think I probably am into more like Venus de Milo. And I'm very, very grateful for all the conversations I've had with her.